How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the corrupt FBI agent Peter Strzok, who has finally been escorted out of the FBI building. Now, before I go any further, I need to explain to you who Peter Strzok is and why this story is important. First things first, let's go back to the 2016 election. The FBI was involved with some heavy-duty investigations. You're talking about the Hillary Clinton email scandal, the Trump-Russia collusion kerfuffle, and a few other things that were specifically related to the election or in a degree separated away from the election, very close to it. There were some text messages unearthed from Peter Strzok to Lisa Page, who was also an FBI agent, or was. She's actually resigned since the scandal is broken. In these text messages, a few things were revealed. First of all, and if I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, let me know in the box. But in these text messages, it was revealed that they were in a relationship with each other. They were having an affair, allegedly. And they're both married. And they're not married to each other. So that's the first thing, which is kind of ironic that Peter Strzok was demoted from counterintelligence to HR. It's like, how do you go to HR when you are involved with an affair with one of your coworkers and you're married and you're both married, but whatever. In these text messages, aside from all the personal things that they had going on between each other, there was also some very anti-Trump rhetoric talking about, I hate him, hope he doesn't win, Hillary should win a million times more than Trump. Matter of fact, this has gotten so big and it's become such a big issue. They had a congressional hearing. Check this out and you'll see a little bit more of what I'm talking about in further detail.
Do you believe this text shows political bias?
I think as we found, it clearly shows a biased state of mind.
February and March of 2016, Peter Strzok said, Trump's abysmal, Trump's an idiot, he's a bleeping idiot, Hillary should win 100 million to 0. Sounds to me like he hates the president.
His text messages would certainly leave that as the implication.
Okay, so you see it right there. I can place that actual hearing in full in the box below if you want to check it out. And I'll also find some of these text messages in their actual full text format so you can read them for yourself. Don't take my word for it. At the end of the day, it's clear that there's some obvious bias against Donald Trump. So when you have these investigations into the Hillary Clinton email server and to the Trump and Russia collusion, you have to acknowledge that there may be a faulty decision that's made. Prime example is of the former FBI director, the lunatic, the person who is not really mentally balanced, in my humble opinion, and that is James Comey, coming on television talking about how corrupt Hillary Clinton is essentially, but there's not enough evidence to bring her to trial. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here? You're going on TV talking about how bad she is. You wrote a letter right before the election talking about how bad she is, but there's no actual trial, no nothing. What's going on? It seems like there's some kind of corruption happening. It seems like there's some kind of preferential treatment happening. Maybe people in the FBI, high-level guys like James Comey, like Andrew McCabe, and by the way, Lisa Page, who was having an affair with Peter Strzok, was legal counsel to Andrew McCabe. And Andrew McCabe, in my humble opinion, is corrupt in different ways outside of the FBI. His wife, Jill McCabe, tried to run for Senate in Virginia, and that was a whole big situation right there because Virginia politics, it gets very deep. I don't know if we're going down that rabbit hole right now, but the point is that there's a lot of different interests happening, a lot of corruption happening, a lot of collusion within the FBI in the top leadership roles. Now, as far as the average FBI agent who is not in the top roles, I think they're generally good people. I've not heard about any kind of corruption on a lower level. It's all about the big guys, the fat cats. They sit up there making all kind of money. They have all kind of power, and they feel like they can just do whatever they want. Now, can you have an opinion about somebody that's the president and it not be favorable? Sure. But when you're doing things like having an affair with your coworker and you're married, number one, number two, you are a high level official who can actually determine the fate of the country in a certain sense, especially when you are James Comey electing not to actually file any charges against Hillary Clinton. when that starts going on, then you need to have somebody in there who is free from any kind of bias to do your job well. So hopefully Peter Strzok gets fired. Like I said earlier, he has not been fired yet. Unfortunately, he's still employed by the FBI technically, but being escorted out of the building lets me know there's going to be just a matter of time before he gets fired. I doubt that he will get vindicated. His partner in crime, so to speak, Lisa Page, has already resigned. I think she resigned right when the whole thing happened, or she's resigned recently. I'm not really sure about that, but I'll put the date when she resigned in the box below so you're able to have it for your own purposes. So what do you think? Do you think that Peter Strzok should most certainly be fired? Should he get sent to the penitentiary? Are we talking about sedition? Are we talking about treason? What's really going on? And then the same thing for Lisa Page, Andrew McCabe, James Comey, all these people who seem to have biased viewpoints, never Trump, anti-Trump viewpoints. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think that it's okay for Peter Strzok to have an affair at the office, even though he's married and she's married as well? Do you think it's okay for him to be never Trumper and talking about we want to have a plan to defeat him? I would hate for him to win. If he has those types of views and you're able to prove it, should it be involved with anything that could hurt Trump, that could benefit Hillary Clinton? Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.